It's my 8th episode of Chat Show on the G1, and I have with me Noel Noronha. The name which gets in the mind when you speak the word of sport table tennis in Goa. Noel Noronha is a multi-talented personality, as I have known him since his childhood days, and he's been educated in Don Bosco School, and then he's been playing cricket, football, lot of games, badminton, ace runner. Let's welcome him as a table tennis player, ace table tennis player from Goa. Welcome, Noel.
Thank you.
Just wanted to ask you, you have been a lot of talents in you. I have seen you myself, in fact, in my younger days, both of us together. You have been a violinist, used to play violin, you used to keep yourself busy, traveling all the time, coming from school, and playing cricket, playing football, playing this. How did you get into the table tennis channel? Or how did you get into the table tennis groove that you decided that you play table tennis and grow your career in that?
There were two things to it. The first thing is that I was never into indoor sports. I always loved to be in the sun. So one particular day I should play in the rain, I should play football, and I got so sick.
Yeah.
So my sister told that my friends not to take me to play because I was burning fever. So I went to the stadium and started playing TT. And I didn't realize I was playing good. So in 1 month, I took part in Gymkhana tournament, and there was a player who played cricket, Vinay Wagle. So I used his racket.
Vinay Wagle?
Yeah. I was not even in the school. I was not even in the school team. So then I played sub juniors. I reached semi-finals. I was never thrilled about it or anything. And in juniors, I decided to give walkover. So Vinay said,
you were too small.
Yeah. So Vinay said, no, you play. Like something he said, you play. He said, no, if I play, I'm playing first round with you. I'll beat you. He said, no problem. He said. So I played. I beat all my school champions there, and I reached the finals in the juniors. Okay, and that's how people then
recognize it.
Yeah.
One victory made you realize that this is my sport and not any other.
Not yet, but then people pushed me into. People kept on pushing me to playing. Yeah.
I hope Vinay Wagle is watching this show, because Noel Noronha's creation starts from Vinay Wagle. That's really nice. You got into table tennis. What was the table tennis scene at that particular time in Goa? Like, you had were there players who were representing? Of course, you were representing. There were many who were representing Goa. Were there players who were really doing good at the Indians? Like Kamlesh Mehta was the ace player, I believe, at that particular time. And were there anybody who were really giving them a challenge at that particular?
Not really. Also, what was sad at that time was...
Which year was it? Which year was it? Something in 1980s, I believe.
82, I played my first.
First year, national. Yeah. Okay.
Then the sad part was that there was a trend wherein people, somehow had a bad mental block. So when they finished juniors, men is too tough. So that's what was happening. So junior players never... So the senior players are very old. And there was a gap of, say, 10 years where there was no player playing. So when I was in juniors, that's what I wanted to break.
You set the trend.
Yes.
Because I saw many players, young boys participating in men's. I see the hit like Wilbur and many of them I could see. Yeah. Where you started the trend where the juniors and the youngest boy could even participate with the men and beat them.
That was my thing. Not only me beating the seniors, and I made my students. So I was coaching very early age.
Okay.
That's what kept me.
Coach come player.
I started working at SAG as a coach from the age of 17.
Okay, great.
So from that time on, Bilber and all came from Dubai. He was just 12.
Okay.
So they joined my camp, and I had a lot of players from then onwards.
So you started moving. It's like a lot of revolution in table tennis comes from you. I can say, of course, there have been many greats in table tennis, great players. But the academical feeling, giving the motion to the game on this soil, a lot of thing has been done by you. I just wanted to know how many years of table tennis you have put in. Like, what age you started, and what is the scenario? Like, how many years of table tennis you have put in for?
I've been playing from 82. Then maybe in the junior I did not play much. But once I took up, like, from the age of 16 coaching. So then that's what kept me in the game. So from that day till today, in one way or other.
So that's almost like you have around 33 years of table tennis.
Yeah, you can say just take over 3 or 4 years. It has been equal amount of years of coaching.
So you have coached and you have played.
Yeah.
And you have learned the game as well. So it has been like a tri-zonal action in your body. You were totally occupied. How many hours of the game you used to be playing at that particular time?
See, when I was coaching, I also had these boys from this underprivileged school in St. Joseph's. So, in fact, they won they broke the records. They won 10 years in a row in under 19 and etc. So, I used to go there. I used to coach from 6 o'clock in the morning, and I used to coach for about 5 hours in the morning with all this thing. And then again in the evening, I would start around 3. And I would finish at 9, coaching for 6 hours in a row. And even when I was doing my college, my polytechnic, my professors were understanding. So without attendance, they knew I was working and playing. I was employed. So I was coaching many hours.
So you were with the table tennis, it was like your lunch, breakfast and dinner.
Yeah, because even when I used to cycle for 5 years at 5 o'clock in the morning to St. Joe's to coach them. This was a deal made. So I coach them, and on Sundays I take care of their studies.
Wow.
And that's how I got at least around lot of players from there representing the state. And one thing I like to mention, normally the government does not help in some way or other, but this is one place where I would say we had the sports hostel. And when I wanted to join the sports hostel, I was qualified, but the coach didn't want a headache, without mentioning names. But when I was coaching them, I had no qualifications as a coach to coach. But seeing that the state players were from underprivileged, the Sports Authority of Goa, along with the Sports Authority of India, when they had football and all the disciplines, they broke the rules, and these boys got a chance to do the education and get
that's nice
kit that was much better than mine. And there were some touching moments where the boys realized that their kit is better than mine, their rackets are better than mine, because that was one good thing which
you have been a trendsetter. I found you like a revolutionary personality in table tennis who could create something on his own. That's the reason I've been choosing people very clear and cut, some determined personalities who wanted to get something and give back to the sport as well.
Another thing I like to mention is, just to sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But in the first 2 years, I used to, sponsor these boys by giving tuition and all these boys from underprivileged homes. And then in all, nobody used to go for these tournaments, zonal tournaments, Western India, Eastern India, nobody used to go. So I wanted to take these boys and other boys also out, start this. So then I had a friend, Iqbal, so he said, why don't you approach sponsors?
Iqbal
Naru. So he also used to play TT. So I made a list of people who would approach, and first was Siddharth Goa. So I was around 18, 19 that time. And I met Mrs. Timlaw. I went in the reception and asked, I want to meet Mrs. Timlaw. And I explained to her, she had already heard about me. And from that year onwards, she sponsored without, she didn't ask for accounts, nothing. She just said, give me a plan for the year. So I had a team with Siddharth. I had sponsorship for these underprivileged boys and also for the players who wanted to play zonal. So at least 2-3 zonals I could take them for. So for 10 years, we had this sponsorship on. And she was always open to continuing it.
Exactly. Summarizing that your attitude itself, like you were not just playing table tennis, you were carrying table tennis already on the head and the sport itself. Then you had some vision to get something done for some people and to grow with growing them, you were growing yourself as well. It was like you were giving a lot of time for the game and the game was giving a lot of privileges to you also.
Yeah, because like I said, this is not my sport.
Yeah.
Even today, if you list the sports I like to play, it's not my sport. But coaching.
Which is your sport?
I would always rate football until I played tennis.
Yeah, I know you used to play good football. Coming from the wings and.
I played basketball even for the club for 2 years. I did well. I could play any sport I wanted to.
Yes.
But I preferred outdoor sports. Badminton also I played quite well. Okay, even I played.
But after being the ace table tennis player in Goa, and you are still saying this is not my sport now, that's literally.
Yeah, but the thing that kept in the sport, like you said, doing these things, coaching and these things kept me in the sport.
You have been a consistent champion for Goa for 33 years. You must have had many victories in men's. I'm not counting the sub-juniors and juniors category. I'm only seeing the men's victories. How many men's victories you had in the last 33 years? How many men's victories in Goa?
I would not know. I dominated for 10 years. I would win at least 8 out of 8 tournaments, you say. Minimum.
Like a top seed of Goa. You could say like Pets Emperors.
10 years, like minimum 8 tournaments. There would be again 14 tournaments, minimum 8 I would win. So you can say in 10 years 80 go there, so you cross 100 that way.
100 titles of Goa. Yes. That's 100 titles.
For sure.
Yeah, for Goa over the last 33 years. So averaging almost 3 titles a year.
Yeah, but in that one gap of 12, 15 years, like I could take how many titles?
Yeah, okay. That was your best phase.
I've gone through a full year without losing. I've gone through, but a few years I would remember and I would take pride in.
When I see Noel Noronha, to my knowledge, as I have see again, I mentioned childhood because I was playing cricket and I was watching you grow in your zone. What I see Noel Noronha, even when the biomechanical word was not existing at that particular time, Noel itself was a biomechanical personality, very professionalized personality, who will time himself so well to do his things. Very tough personality. If you would lose something on that particular moment, you would get back. I remember a few moments with myself. I don't want to share them, but it was like I remember taking something, a racket or something from you or something, and I'm not able to return it back on time, or a book, I believe. I don't remember. It was very small. I used to go to Kala Academy. I used to learn drums, and you used to, I think, be going there for violin. Yeah. So coming back to this, how did you adapt yourself? What was your idol? Do you have something in your mind? You were so focused. What was it like? You adapted yourself to get into that biomechanical structure, which came up almost 15 years later, but you were already doing it at that time.
I think if you see, just what you say is something truth which encouraged me to do it later. I'll take a simple example. I used to take a table, for example, and divide it into different corners, and I used to take out the cloth and say, okay, you play only the small squares. At that time, nobody agreed, even in the, but then 10 or 15 years later, I see the Chinese doing it. Kamlesh Mehta, who came for the Lusophonia games to coach us, when he was coaching us, he had the same setup. And at that time, it just was an innovation from my side. So, what I also used to do, when I was in the sports authority, I was good friend with the football coach, the other coaches. So, I used to learn from them. I used to learn from anybody who was willing to share with me. So, my thing was I could learn from a small child or anybody, and I should pick up, I should read and try to get my own formula.
You used to read a lot, I believe.
Yeah, and then make my own formula. What I would like to do.
You used to create your own way of coaching.
Correct.
And then used to adapt it and see what could happen best.
Yeah, and teaching came naturally to me.
Thinking is in your blood, I believe. It comes straight to you. Okay, I just wanted to ask you, as a part of, I asked you about the consistency in being the national state champion. You have represented Goa as well. So you have been regularly representing Goa for almost, I should say, 27 years. Excluding the 5 years which you have lost because of your work and your busy schedule. What has been this 27 years? What has been the experience? You have consistently been part of Goa table tennis squad for 27 is not a joke. It could be, I don't even know the records. There might be so many years where you have been consistently and consecutively a part of the team. It could itself spell records. I just wanted to know what was your feeling, like which year it was the best you had, and what went through your mind at that time?
Yeah, so when I initially began in the men's, like we found that in a group of, let's say, 32 states, we used to always rank 20 plus, okay, or
19.
The best would be 19 you would come to. And in Pondicherry,
which year? You don't remember the year?
In the 90s only. In Pondicherry, we brought that down to up to 13. That's the best Goa I ever reached.
Till date?
Yeah, it is creditable.
Till date, you mean to
say? Yes.
Okay.
Because though we played, for me at least it was very good, because though the matches, some of the matches we lost to UP and Delhi, though we lost 3-2, I won both my matches. And during that time I also beat Jeja, who was ranked in 10 or 2 from Delhi. So, and they were the bronze medalists.
Okay, great.
Okay, so, and in fact when we were, we were leading 2-1 against them. And that's when we brought the whole attention to this.
Sad thing, it looks like you were Goan players and Goa team was only participating in the team events, like the nationals.
Yeah, correct.
There was your participants in the opens were very less.
Yeah,
and the structure was not there also, I believe, in the table tennis structure in India table tennis structure. The open tournaments to get your rankings was not there, I believe.
Yeah, because what happened was Goa had too many tournaments, and that was the downfall of the standard. Because the other states had few tournaments, and then you play in the in the main circuit. It's like you
keep it open.
You compete with crows, you will be a good crow.
Yeah.
You compete with eagles, you will be a good eagle. That way it was.
Yeah.
So we were so used to playing each other, 10, 12 tournaments, the players used to play almost from memory. The ability to play a different player was not there. Then you go for nationals, the first 2 games you're just seeing something different.
Yeah.
And for others, even for the lower states than us, lower ranked states from us, they used to playing in this all India, the zonal tournaments and everything. So they don't have that fear of competition there.
the structure for the table tennis was not laid in short.
Yeah,
As
it was
it
too
is
much
so,
of focus on the GOAN.
it was very brief, and it was like scattered and brief rather than.
And the goal and the final achievement was laid down, and you have to be Goa best.
Goa'S.
It was not linked to how you can take that into the Indian standard, and it was not difficult.
It's very nice to hear these words from the GOAN best table tennis player. When he says you are ranked, he says that the GOAN best, and still not happy because you wanted to do something better. Really appreciate that. You are concerned about the table tennis at that particular time. Who are your colleagues? Who are your teammates? Share some moments or share some names whom you played with.
Somebody, Ajit Gatkar, though he began the game late.
He's still playing.
He's played for the next 30-40 years. He's with us. Okay.
Yeah.
We played a veterans match and all this because they forced me to
He
play
plays the veterans and he plays the current ongoing men's also. He reaches the finals most of the time.
So he's still doing well, and he's been some people like that who have been consistent. There were Wilbur, Guru Dutt, in those days who were playing.
Arvind Mishra.
In fact, Arvind Mishra used to play a lot with me. He was my doubles partner.
Yeah.
He was very talented because he had we know he's talented by nature. He was talented.
He was very talented in many sports. Basically, we know that.
Yeah.
Coming back to yourself, you grew up from ST.INEZ. You moved most of your hanging out time was in Kampal area, close to your place. Then you used to go to Margao for I believe that the school which you were teaching in Margao, that was right.
No, I was teaching everywhere.
Okay.
All over.
So you grew up in such a zone where the sport was very close to you. It was nothing very difficult. Was there any factor? What was your idol like? What was your family contribution? Was there a particular idol whom you felt at that time? Okay, you started with table tennis because it was raining outside and you were stuck inside. Your sister spoke. But then as you grew and you started playing table tennis, did you have some particular idol in your mind?
No, like I said, I played table tennis because I got caught into it. Very frankly.
Yeah, you were in the net.
And then I continued that way. So in terms of table tennis, I had no particular, look out from someone and something like that.
Any other personality? Like for my instance, I did not have an idol in cricketer, but I had an idol in Andre Agassi. I used to always look up to Andre Agassi, see what he does in life, and similar way, like what could have pulled you towards the sport, your personality development, something. Such a genius personality.
Anybody who played with passion, like you see Kapil Dev.
Kapil Dev was kind of your idol.
That's why your action of bowling also. Because players like him played as per the situation. They had that determination, like how you would see in Rahul Dravid today or whatever. They had determination. Anybody who played with passion and determination, those are the players. Maybe I don't get the names in sports, different sports. Those are the names like Jan-Ove Waldner, for example, Sweden. That's the only time when Sweden dominated, the only country that overpowered China for so many years. Waldner and Applegreen, Person, all these players as a team. They just took it over for China. They only made, otherwise China has been just, they don't look at how many medals they can win. They
only want to dominate.
Yeah, they don't want to.
They want the mafia in table tennis.
They cannot get a single silver. If they get, it's the finished. It's a thing for them.
They want the mafia in table tennis.
Yeah, because it's national sport also for them.
Hello brother, धक्को करता बाय बाय ब्रदर. एका परस है एक बिलंदर, गुरु हांचो मस्त कलंदर. हे मस्त कलंदर, हे मस्त कलंदर, हे मस्त कलंदर, हे मस्त कलंदर.
Your role in GOAN table tennis has been a major factor. Especially the Panjim table tennis boys, Don Bosco, Gymkhana, John Bosco Auditory, you Indo Stadium, And plus the GOAN table tennis. Can you elaborate and explain to us, tell us something about what you have done for the, I know you would not like to say that, but still to let us know what you have done for the GOAN table tennis development over the years, whatever small contributions which are already you have contributed so much, but still more details, like some phase where you change the tournament structures, you change some entry structures. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, see, when I was coaching, I was working at SG in Panjim. Okay, we sometimes not even get a salary on time, but we were supposed to go there and come back. But I chose to go to schools. Okay, during my free time when I could miss college because take advantage of the fact that my professors are good to me, and coach them there and bring students here. I would go to Vasco and I would coach there and bring players here. And lot of players, I found that though I was spending 3 hours coaching them, I found players who have no coach playing much better than my players.
Correct, exactly.
So people, I found...
You found a raw talent from
raw talent,
any place.
Any place.
Yeah.
And it's an individual sport. So if what a sport needs is first is many players, lot of players playing the game. You cannot take the sport together up unless you have volumes. Because from volumes you get good talent and good competition. So what I was to do is go there and get them players. Then I had this school from Kalangut to give me a free hand, underprivileged this thing. So I used to go cycle to Kalangut every day in the morning and coach them. Then they
cycle to where? From
Sejul Kalangut, from Panjim.
Oh.
And they won like for record number of titles with the under 19 non-stop for 10 years. And other titles and everything. So I got a lot of players from there. Then the government opened a sports hostel. So I got the players here to practice. Stay here. So that was the thing. And I was always getting support from people, which is very good.
People backed up your attitude basically, because you were always giving back to them. It was not only a money oriented or something which you wanted to earn on, and you were giving them back.
Yeah, not only friends, not only people I knew, anybody who I didn't know also supported the game always. Because
Noel Noronha is a name, it hits the sports page for most frequently than any other sports personality. I believe if you keep the track record, Noel Noronha takes this, Noel Noronha takes that. It has been in at least the GOAN sports page. Noel Noronha is very frequently the name which is, so people know who is Noel Noronha. Even if you're a stranger walking in a place and asking for something, people know who is Noel Noronha. He's a personality who is doing a lot for the sports. Coming back again to the development, you were talking about something about the Pune issue. You went to Pune and...
No, the thing was like this. There were some players for one tournament, they brought players from Pune. Of course, the way they did it was not right. Suddenly we go off for the tournament and you see players from Pune playing. But then I realized...
You don't remember the years and the era basically, at least some space of 5 years.
In the years...
90s or
90s.
In the 90s only,
yeah.
okay.
So then I realized that I'm not able to go myself to play outside. So this is the best thing that's happening to me.
Give and take.
Yeah, and I was number one. So if I don't object, then nobody else would object because I'm the biggest loser. If they don't come, I win. So like that. So they started coming here and I started fighting and enjoying that. And if I won a tournament in Pune, I would love to read my write-up in the paper. Otherwise, I would not enjoy reading it. So I started beating them. People in Goa who are living in Pune, like Iqbal Malari used to play here. They read my articles in Pune and they, came to meet me. That was a really good feeling.
Have you been covered enough by media? Like, what has been your best phase? Like, best interview you still remember, still done?
See, if the media has not covered me, it's me to blame only. Because I don't know, even if you notice, but I really normally don't like to go into interviews and all these things. Unless
I'm lucky to have a chat with you, maybe because my childhood influence.
Even now when they ask me for they ask for interview, I say you do current coach or something because I like to do something. I rather coach a boy for that same 1 hour than do something which just brings controversies. Like I had a lot of controversies, associations and all, but I try to work with them also.
Very straightforward perspective.
And I like to work with them. And I want to do from today onwards. If I cannot do something, I don't want to pull somebody down.
I understand. I have not seen you in many.
If I come fully into the scene, then I will start doing such things because then I don't want anything in my way.
Still, which is your best covered zone? When you felt something, you said you do like reading yourself on the newspaper.
Yeah.
So when was the best moment you had at least about reading something on the newspaper?
Yeah, there was one interview like this only, like how you were mentioning that your cups in the garage.
Yeah.
So they came for the interview, and it was
Yeah, because you have all this here.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is not enough.
yes. So it was like I think it's the weekend, the full page they wanted to cover. And when they came, they said, "Where's your trophy?" I said, "Trophies are not there." My mom said, "No, it's all under all the beds and all." And I had the people from the media going under the bed, wiping it, arranging the table to take a snap.
Picture for.
Later I felt bad, I could not do it, but I didn't want that. So during that time, they highlighted very important points, about how the game system is, and my contribution, of course, but more how we could develop it. Unfortunately, it did not catch on, but
You have played for India also. You have represented India for the Lusophobia games in a team. How many years you have been playing?
I played in Macau and I played in Portugal. Where Portugal, though I went with injury, Kamlesh Mehta was a coach, and that's the time I could get leave from BACHA when I was working as assistant director engineering, and that's a key post. So I really could coach well, but unfortunately 7 days before I went, I tore my hamstring, and Kamlesh said just go and play. And I didn't want to take any medication because you know how the dope tests are. So there I performed quite well because in the team, in the individuals.
You went to Portugal?
Yeah, though it's the player was ranked 300 in the world, it's quite a good ranking because if you see players playing 600 in the world, it's still good.
Okay.
And I got 5th position in that place. I reached the quarterfinals.
Yeah, there was a player ranked 300 in the world.
I beat a player.
You beat a player?
Yeah, so from Macau.
Okay.
And they had a Chinese coach.
Okay.
So it's some good feeling when you perform like that. And largely we had a 1 month camp with Kamlesh Mehta, and in fact you see the Indo Stadium now, the lights on the ceiling, it's just because of him.
Coming back to yourself, you talked about something about the family issues, like somebody going down, up and I just wanted to know your family contribution in your success from start till now or current, and who takes care of your things and how it does move. Some reasons out or some memories you like to speak
Yeah,
of.
in the beginning, even my family, they never knew I played India unless suddenly some people came and told my dad that they saw my photograph in the
Dad was a very serious character.
He was serious, but the ironical thing is that 4 years later, I pick up a small trophy and one more small trophy.
Okay.
And I learned that my dad, we were in Kenya, I was born in Nairobi.
Okay.
So he used to play TT and badminton.
Okay.
And he was pretty good at it. And then that's when he played with me.
Okay.
Much later after I started. But before I was getting married, I was quite tired, winning the same, being number one. I was getting bored of it, it became very stereotyped. So I wanted to give up. So I like to use them, get married. Normally when players get married, then somehow they don't get to play. So I said, let's use this excuse, and I started planning to stop. And my wife is a nurse in JMC. So I had some doctors who were my students. So they told my wife, see, don't stop him from playing. She said, I never stopped. My wife didn't do anything on sports. So then she said, you play 1 year and then you stop. So I said, I played 1 year.
And it went on?
No, then one fine day, my llast tournament, she happened to come, and then the organizer realized that she's not the cause of me stopping playing. And then she also took a hang to it, and she, if I want to play TT or any sport today, she would allow me to even put my legs on top and say she'll go and play.
Great.
In fact, even last month I took part in this with my friends on the triathlon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, where I did
8010.
40 kilometers in quite a good time.
Okay.
So she'll encourage me whatever I think to play. And I've been playing, I did well in Portugal, happy about it. I'm playing only because she.
So your wife, your spouse is backing you up?
Even this is there only because of her, because she insisted that this stays.
She's taking care of all the glories, whatever you have earned, and taking care. Coming back again to yourself, how many? You have a family of your wife and your 2 kids sons. Are they into table tennis? Are you grooming them into table tennis?
No, see, my eldest son, I always believe, you should move your children to what they're good at in their life. Okay, at least good at. So we exposed my eldest son to TT and swimming, but then we found he had more interest in music and was good at music. So he has moved into music, he's good in drums, he plays quite well at drums, he plays violin, he plays a trumpet now. So he has a natural talent for music. So I told my wife.
You're not enforcing anything.
Yeah. So my younger son, maybe he will pick up or may not. We don't.
Coming back to the table tennis in Goa, what do you feel about the current scenario of Goan table tennis as well as the Indian table tennis? Who is the ace table tennis player in India right now? I have no idea.
I also am very poor with names. I mean, I've seen the playing.
Yeah.
But the Goan table tennis now, if you see the standard now, of the under 12 was much better than what we used to play under 14. Okay, because here players are starting younger. Like we began in 12 and after. People are beginning now 6 age and all, and they're doing quite well. Sub-juniors, they won a bronze medal. They're very creditable.
They have this robo training and all this.
Yeah, and
biomechanical
people are playing
structures.
young. And the standard is very good. Tanishri is there, Wesley is there. Very good performance. Then there's another girl who, if you can't get a name. Urmila.
Yeah.
She is there. And a lot of good players are there. And I don't get the name, a lot of good players are there. But still the game is small. A number of players playing is small. It's easy to make an Indian champion, easy to make an international champion. One player. But to bring up the standard of the sport, you need volumes. You need that the sport is played in different places.
Exactly.
Then only it's going to come up as a sport. To develop a few champions, it's very easy.
That's a word of substance. You have your thought that you need volume to get the sport moving.
Yeah.
It's not just one individual champion. Okay, but it does help also if you have one individual champion. It does carry the sport, gives it the weight of it.
You just go both together. You develop your cream. And at the same time, you spread the sport.
If you are, as you said, if you are not a table tennis player, what you would be doing right now?
You're saying professionally what I'm doing?
Professionally? No, you are already, I'm coming up to that.
Sports.
Or whatever. Like you're still a sports person.
I basically love football until I play tennis.
You love to play football?
I would love to play tennis.
You would love to play tennis?
It has the strength part of it.
You like outdoor.
And the individuality also.
Only thing that's blocking your mind that's hurting you even being after consistently the champion, that is still an indoor game. So you want to play outdoors somewhere or other.
Yeah.
So you're basically on those routes of outdoor games. I want to know also what you're doing right now currently. What are the things where you work, and what are the professional contributions you have in life?
See, I was doing computer teaching, software, and doing hardware. Then partly because I was...
You're a commerce graduate or...
No, I did my diploma in electronics, industrial electronics, polytechnic.
Okay.
And I did my post-diploma in computers. Okay, so then...
So you went into technical line?
Yeah, technical line.
Okay.
And then partly because I had a sponsorship with Siddharth, I entered into the hospitality engineering.
Okay.
You know? And from there I moved on to other hotels like Park Hyatt, and then right now I'm working as director of engineering at Hotel Grand Hyatt. It's the biggest hotel you have here
in Goa.
Yeah, and last 4 or 5 years, I had to open the hotel, so it's like pre-opening, everything is a mess. To get it moving is a big challenge. Till today, it's a big challenge. So it's a full time.
You're enjoying your job.
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges.
I hope it's outdoors.
Huh?
I hope that the job is outdoors.
It's outdoors, it's underground, it's everywhere.
It's not giving you any problem.
No.
Coming back to, again, to wind up the session, Noel, if you would suggest something to the kids or the young upcoming players right now, what would you ask them to do? Would you ask them to be like your style, personality who is very tough, professional, structural, or you could just say go for fun and enjoy yourself? Because you're you're not just talented, you're multifaceted personality also, because you're not imposing something on your kids, you let them go what they want. So what would you guide these youngsters in sports, basically, for their future?
I think I would guide sportsmen as well as sports parents. Okay, sportsmen as such, I would say that whenever you start any sport or anything, your basics have to be very strong. We try to do something innovative first before getting the basics strong. Similarly, when a child is picking up...
You mean to say the defense of the game has to be good rather than play the very innovative reverse swing?
Yeah. Every stroke you first master, each stroke, the movement, the foot movements, everything, whatever it is, any sport it be there. Secondly is that when children are young, you start a child from playing young, but that's fine. If the player starts with the wrong style, you can just discount him growing internationally. It's better to start late, but once you start, your basics have to be right. You cannot compromise on that. Secondly, parents, what they tend to do is because they want their child to win, they don't mind, if the stance and the style is varied, so long as he somehow wins that thing and his name comes in that paper and he wins and all. In the process, the player cannot go long time. I've seen players who stuck the basics, lost in the younger days, But then the other players who progress in the men, because they continued playing right. Like there was the coach who played Abin Kurdo. They continued playing right, and that's what's required. No compromise on the basics. If you're thinking long term, you're thinking international, you have to stick to the basics. That's it.
Main idea to be stuck to the basics. Just another question as we end up. Tanishri Kirtane, I found her extraordinary talent from Goa. Where do you think she will go? How long? What do you think? What is your views about her? Because I found out that the Lithuania Games final she beat in the game when she was down 2 sets, and she came back and she beat the next 3 sets. Very determined character. Of course, she's beyond my episode as well. I'm going to go through her, but just wanted to know from you, what do you feel about her when you see that player playing on the table? What do you see her? Where she can reach? Where you think like? Will she be the top Indian player, or she can go international, or what do you think about her?
She is at a very crucial juncture in her age. Given the fact that she's talented, her confidence levels are very good. So when you grow into a higher competition, the confidence level plays a lot of importance. Like when you reach the crucial points of the match, that she's very good at. Now she can go to any lengths. It depends on how her focus or her plan is made. First thing, she should delete, participating like in Goa much. Her focus should be just deleted. She should think of participating only in India and beyond, because she's young.
Every step, you mean to say, as she grows, takes a step, the previous step, she has to accept it and leave it and go for the higher steps.
Yes. Because once
not just leave it in a way where you ignore it or in an arrogant way. Accept it, cover it, then go the next step.
Because she has to take off her roots from Goa standard and just forget it if she wants to grow.
Hope your words are counted there, and thank you very much, Noel. Really had a good time with you. Thank you very much.